Hey y'all, my name is Shauna. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my manga wrap-up for December 20th to the 26th. And this was also coincidentally the last week of the 25 days of manga. So the first part, a majority of these manga are going to be ones that I read for that, and 2 of them are going to be ones that I read on the 26th. So let's go. So the first manga that I read was Yoshinozuka, The Frog in the Well Doesn't Know the Ocean, Volume 2 by Satsuki Yoshino, and this follows Noruhiko Yoshino, a country island bumpkin who is a mangaka who has his debut 10 years ago, and when he starts drawing a slice of life manga, his old fears of not being good enough to be a cancel swirl around him. After publishing Volume 2 of his manga, he is asked to do a book signing in Tokyo, and that's where Volume 2 starts off at. And I really love the artwork style of Yoshino. Like, they just draw the country very beautiful, and I love how funny and hilarious the characters are. I like that Noruhiko is this low self-esteem mangaka and how much he grows with each chapter. There's plenty of laughs concerning, his anxiety and kind of him going, on a plane to Tokyo and meeting his editor for the first time in person. Like, he's never met any of his editors before. So I thought that was a really fun look into the manga publishing industry. And this series with each volume, it just makes you kind of want to keep going, because you kind of want to keep rooting for Naruhiko and keep hoping that he builds up confidence as he goes along. Okay, so the next manga I actually read on Christmas Day, and it's also a reread for me, and that is Our Dining Table by Mito Ori, and this is a manga following Yutaka, who is a 23-year-old office worker who doesn't like to share his meals with anyone due to the hurtful comments that his adoptive brother and siblings have said to him. And then he meets 4-year-old Tane and his older brother Minoru, and it's basically a journey of will the brothers help Yutaka overcome his fear of eating with other people, and will they actually get him to enjoy his food. And I just love this BL manga. Like, this is one of my favorite one-shots because it feels like such a completed story. We get some terrific character building from Yutaka, where he goes from this kind of standoffish office worker who's always getting his meals from the grocery store, ready-made bentos or salads, and you have Minoru, who is this also 23-year-old guy who is taking care of his younger brother Tane. He kind of put his life on hold. He's not going to college anymore. They both start to slowly kind of fall for each other's faults and fears and love and kindness, and it's just, there's so many fluffy scenes in this book, and I just, like, I cannot help but feel the butterfly swoops in my belly when I read this book, because it is just so perfect, especially for this time of year, since it's also set around the winter holiday seasons. I mean, the artwork is just so sweet. Tane is such a adorable little 4-year-old. Like, you just have this cute little chapter page with Tane, who is the young boy in the little bear hat, and his older brother just lying around in their home. Or you have this adorable title page of Yutaka eating his gigantic rice balls, and I just really, really love this manga. Like, if you want to read a BL manga that doesn't really have any smut in it, it's just about fluffy kissing and adorableness, I would definitely recommend Our Dining Table, and it's really, really good. Okay, the next manga I read was Kakushigoto, My Father's Secret Ambition, Volume 1 by Koji Kumita. And this is another e-manga that I read, and this is about Kakushigoto, and he is a single dad with a secret. He draws these raunchy comics, and he tries everything he can to stop his daughter Hime-chan, who he dotes on, for finding out that he is like one of these top selling mangakas. This was just kind of a disappointment for me. I did really enjoy the art. Some of the gags felt a little heavy-handed, and The parts I really did enjoy were just the moments of Kakushi and his daughter Hime just spending time with each other. Like, this is a manga series that's going to have to kind of grow on you just because of the amount of gags and the way the art's drawn. And I'll probably check out, I think there's an anime adaptation of it, so maybe I'll give that a try, but this manga just wasn't for me, and I'm kind of glad that I tried it out a digital first. Okay, after that, I ended up reading Osun Idol, Even at 36, It's Never Too Late, Volume 1 by Mochiko Mochida and Ichika Kino, and this is a manga that follows Miroku Osaka, who is a 36-year-old shut-in after being unfairly terminated from his job, and he's also been bullied most of his life. And then after he stops a drunk from harassing a cafe worker, he decides to join a gym, and from there he gets addicted to this dancing. And then he decides to go to karaoke to sing one of his favorite otaku theme songs, and it just kind of starts from there. He gets a viral hit from the video that he uploaded, and now everybody wants to know who was this new guy who was singing. And I enjoyed the manga for what it offers. Like, I do like reading about protagonists who are of the older age, so 36 is what each of our protagonists' ages are, and I just really enjoyed Moroku. He's just a kind soul, and I like the gentleman that he ends up joining us. And then these three kind of just join together and decide to form their own dance group. And I'm looking forward to reading the next volume. Yeah, I like the back of it. This volume is mainly just to set up the, I guess, the idol part, because it does end with them signing a contract to become an idol group. It has some nice artwork and some pretty good gags. Like, I like this just one panel of Moroku when he's at the karaoke office, and it's just, like I said, it's just a fun time, a fun, relaxing manga to read. There's nothing too heavy in it. So yeah, I would definitely give this a try if you like to read something that's more geared towards older audience and also about the idol world. Okay, so the next manga that I read was Living Room Matsunaga-san Volume 1 by Keiko Iwashita, and this is a romantic manga about a young girl named Miko who ends up in a boarded house after her parents leave to take care of her ailing grandmother, and then she meets the characters and slowly becomes more interested in Matsunaga, who is a graphic designer, and that's our gentleman on the cover too. Romance manga is nice sometimes because I can just enjoy the antics that the characters get up to. This manga does seem to feature possibly an age gap romance, so I will keep that in mind. But otherwise, they haven't really done much but slowly get to know each other in this volume. So I am interested in reading volume 2 after the cliffhanger that happened in volume 1. So here's the other people in the boarding home. Like, I like the title page right here for chapter 3, and it's just a homey manga. Like, I like the artwork, and this is one that I've been seeing floating around, so I wanted to try out the first 2 volumes. So yeah, volume 1. So next I ended up continuing on with Goodbye My Rose Garden with volume 2, and this follows Lady Alice, a British aristocrat who ends up hiring Hanako, who is a Japanese woman, and getting to know each other and slowly falling in love with each other. But then Alice's fiance ends up sending Hanako away, and I like this volume okay. I felt that some of the drama wasn't necessary, but I do like the dynamic between Alice and Hanako. But with the cliffhanger at the end, I felt like that reveal came a little too soon, so I don't know if the next volume is going to be the last one. Yeah, this is just a nice little historical romance series between 2 women. So I would give it a try if you like it. Yeah, and the artwork's really nice. Like, I like the cover page with Alice and Hanako. This is the book that completely and utterly destroyed me this week, and that was Ten Dance Volume 5 by Sato Inuo. And yes, this is a BL manga featuring Suzuki, the king of Latin, and Tsukiki, the king of ballroom dancing, and they both decide to participate in the Ten Dance, which is learning each other's dances together. and slowly start to fall in love with each other. And like I said, this volume completely destroyed me. The way it ended makes me want to read the next arc, which is just started back up at publication in Japan. I love the back of it, and this volume was just so good. And like, look at that artwork of Suzuki. This was just so good. Like, we got to kind of meet some of the other Latin dancers, and I'm floored by how good this volume is getting, and I'm not ready for the hurt that it promises. Like, I'm really not ready for the hurt. I'm just gonna say it again. I am not ready for the hurt. 10 Dance, I would definitely recommend giving it a try if you like to read about dancing and also like stubborn characters, funny gags, and just very, very slow burn, hurtful relationship. So after I read 10 Dance Volume 5, I picked up Love Me, Love Me Not, Volume 3 by Io Sakisaka, and this is just a typical high school romance between four friends. You have Akari and her stepbrother Rio, you have Kazumi, and then you have Yuna. And this, like, here's them on the back. You can see it. This isn't necessarily a manga that I am superly enjoying. I'm trying to give it a little bit more because I know so many people love this manga. So I do have up to volume 5, so I will be continuing on. But I'm not sure if this is really going to be my cup of tea. Like, if the problem is not solved in volume 4 between two of the characters, I feel like that the two characters that I do like together is just not ever going to be. The artwork is nice and the drama is always nice, but this high school romance, like a free star for me, is not my favorite, but I don't necessarily hate it. Then during the week, I was reading this mammoth volume of Pokemon Adventures Collector's Edition Volume 1 by Hidenori Kusuka and Mato. And this is, everybody pretty much, I'm sure, unless you've been living on a rock the last 20 years, knows Pokemon. Pokemon has become such an ingrained part of our pop culture, with the video games coming out back in the 90s, and then, you know, the subsequent video games coming out. And this follows the Reddit Blue games or the Reddit Green games, depending on if you got it in the West or in the East. And this is darker. There's more of a there are Pokemon battles, but this is more of kind of like a mystery too, because our main character Red here, he is both training Pokemon, catching Pokemon, making friends with some of the gym leaders, but also battling gym leaders, because some of the gym leaders are Team Rocket affiliated in the manga. And it's just like, I love the artwork. This is mostly kind of like a throwback for me, because in the old days they used to release the comic in like these really thin, blown up graphic novel collections. So when reading Lavender Town, it just really reminded me of how much the fight against the Arbok really scarred me, and the zombified Psyduck that also happens. And I just really enjoy it. Like, this manga kind of follows Red as he's both battling Team Rocket and also building up his rivalry with Blue, and also watching out for the mischievous Green. So like, here is an image of the three of them. So Blue is obviously modeled off of Gary Oak in the anime, Red modeled off of Ash Ketchum, and Green is just a character that doesn't have an anime model. So if you like Pokemon and you want to kind of read a different bit of a story, a bit of a darker, twistier story, I would definitely recommend the Pokemon Adventures Collector's Edition. So far, I believe there are 5, and they are free in one manga, so you technically get the first 3 volumes of the Pokemon Adventures in this series. Okay, so the next volume I read was another one that kind of destroyed my feelings for the week, and that was Blue Flag Volume 5 by Kaito. And this is a manga following four friends while they're in high school. They're seniors in high school, so they're slowly starting to think about where they're going in life, thinking about their romance, their friendships, and it's just a really good contemporary look. And what I love about this volume is that we get a side character exploration. So one of the side characters into this drama of, because they're a female and they're kind of staying close to one of our male characters, there's the idea that they're trying to break up the relationship between two of the characters. Really interested look, because the side character is like, why can't I, a female, hang out with my opposite sex, a male, without it being seen as some kind of relationship grab or me being devious or anything? Why can't we just be friends? And if a male hangs out with a female, there's nothing wrong with it, but why is there something wrong with it when a female hangs out with a male? So it kind of talks about those social constructs of gender in here. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, so this is just a really fun manga. It's got great artwork, and I just really enjoyed like this paneling right here with the four of them at a fireworks festival. And then you have this with the two best friends, and it's just so fun. And of course, I love this scene of him just completely ignoring the girls and just making this little origami thing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Blue Flag. It is a fun, it's a fun, emotional contemporary. Every volume brings something new, and I like the way this one ends because that means that I'm just ready to find out the answer in the next one. And those mangas end up my read it for the 25 days of manga. So on the 26th, I've just read two manga. I was just kind of winding down, relaxing after the holidays. So the first one I ended up picking up was Something's Wrong with Us by Natsumi Ando, and this follows a young girl whose mother is the head sweet makers at this very established family, and it's a live-in job, so she ends up living in with the family, becomes close to the male child of the family, and one night the male child's father ends up getting murdered, and the child accuses the young girl's mother of being the murderer. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I kind of like the thriller aspect of me, and then uh, the young girl ends up challenging him to a sweets, making sweets for a wedding, and he says, "Hey, why don't we just get married?" And that kind of starts off the kind of thrillery part of it. And the way this volume ended, I really want to get the next volume, because I am all for the dark thrillery aspects of it. And what I also just cannot believe is that this is also the same author as one of the manga that I read previously, which was Wild at Heart, and also the more popular known Kitchen Princess. So their artwork has really matured, and I don't know if it's because they're drawing adults in this series or if it's because of their growth. Yeah, I'm excited to continue on. Here is one of the panel pages, so you could definitely see the artwork has matured. Manga that I have read this week is a continuation of the manga that I have started during the 25 days of manga, and that is Snow White with the Red Hair Volume 8 by Sarada Akiduki. And it's still continuing to be a favorite of mine. I am absolutely loving the political aspect of it. I am loving learning more about the kingdom. And this one, we also get a little bit of backstory about our little assassin here, Obi. So that is pretty freaking wonderful too. I adore the artwork. Like, I wish this was a color page, because that is just freaking adorable. If I could have all three of them just living together happily, I would want that. Like, here we have a nice side image of both Mitsuhai and Zen and Shirayuki. So I am just in a blast with this series. I am so happy that I am continuing on. And yeah, I'm ready to read volume 9 and the recently released volume 10. So that's all the manga that I ended up reading this week. My next video will be a complete wrap up of my 25 days of manga, and that includes if I ended up getting blackout on the bingo board or if I still need to do a little work on that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.